Okay, I'm back. I'm at it again here with y'all. Just trying to hang out. My last one got a little religious. I just wanted to let people who are listening to me and actually tuning into this video and these videos, this compilation of videos about truths and where we're at, to know me a little bit and where I'm at. And I'm about negotiating and happiness, morals, ethics. That's what I'm about. You know, I'm not about necessarily the laws of the land. I'm not an anarchist, but you know, there's some laws out there that shouldn't be there. And let's talk about nothing specific, because I don't want to be labeled an anarchist or an anti this or an anti that. But what I will say is, listen to me here. We have lawmakers. We've had lawmakers since 1776. Actually, a little before that, we had lawmakers who just didn't have a country and a president. And actually, you know, we did. We had presidents before George Washington. That's a whole nother bag of worms. We had a few, like what, 12 presidents before George Washington. They were acting presidents. Forget that. The bottom line is, what are they doing? You know, they're passing bills. They're passing laws. Okay. What does the President of the United States do? George Bush and Barack Obama. George Bush and Barack Obama, between them, have entered in over 4,000 executive orders. There wasn't 500 executive orders in the entire history of the country. Then in 2 presidents, there's 4,000. This is wrong. And every time there's an executive order, Congress has the right to vote that order down. But they don't. Why? I don't know why. We're going to move off of that topic. But what does Congress do? Congress actually passes laws, okay? They know what laws are. They know what bills are. They figure things out just like anybody else. And they have little committees. Hey, but guess what? A little known secret. If you have 10 lawmakers in a committee, and there's all kinds of committees, okay? There's committees for everything. You can name it, there is one. And those committees come up with a resolution. They resolve issues about potential bills that groups want, and then they come up with a bill, and then they start shopping that bill to their friends and colleagues and perhaps other committees, and they make changes. They figure out, okay, well, we can agree on this, we can agree on that, we can't agree on this, fix this, da-da-da-da-da. And it goes on for months, weeks. But the little known secret that nobody knows about, I'm going to break now. There's 2 lawyers for every lawmaker in the damn room. Oh, man. Why is there 2 lawyers for every lawmaker? Because they're not even acting attorneys. They're lobbyists. They're big money pushers. And they are acting attorneys, but not acting as an attorney in the room at the time when they're there. Obviously they're attorneys because they make the language so complicated, you know. Instead of saying, I'm going to go to the park tomorrow, alas, tomorrow will come and the sun will rise. And I think maybe, yes, I will go to the park. But I won't go to the park unless I wake up in the morning. And if I don't wake up in the morning and have toast, I won't be able to go to the park. And if I don't have the toast, I won't wake up. And they put language, and why not just say you're going to the park? But instead there has to be clarities, because lawsuits are wild, you know. People know. I remember a Newhart episode a while back, and you know, I was a youngster. I'm probably 8 years old, and I saw this, and I still stuck with me till now, and I can't wait to try to find it. Just hit me just now. There was an episode where a rich lady came in with the guy at the hotel there, a Newhart hotel, and their profession was a suey. And this is probably this has got to be 70s now. I'm talking, you know, produced in the 70s. But they're a suey, and they're like, oh yeah, what's that? I go around suing people. I sue everybody. Who you gonna sue me? I'm gonna sue everybody. Okay, so that wasn't a far off concept back in the day. Basically, that was a valid profession, I guess. I mean, I think it's a valid profession now. I mean, we all know about people that used to go in and slip and fall. You know, you see a mop sign in a grocery, you fall down. You know, there's standard money there. Like, if you fall down and bust your elbow, you call an ambulance. You don't have a broken bone, you have pain meds. There's a book. There's actually a book. I want the book myself. I know the book exists, but I want it. But it's basically it tells people what people are worth, okay? It tells you what you're worth if you die. It tells you what you're worth if you lose a finger. It tells you what you're worth if you hit your elbow. It's an equation. It's like a complex derivative program, like mortgage-backed securities, and then selling derivatives and making an equation where you get all the money now and you pay none later, and then you sell before you owe. This whole idea is the same type of thing, and they figure it out, complicated as it is. If you go bust your elbow, now again, the numbers are a little arbitrary, up for debate here and there, but the percentages are going to be there pretty close. So you go and you slip and fall and you bust your elbow. I demand an ambulance. My elbow's swollen. It hurts. It hurts real bad. It's going to bruise. Well, you get a lawyer, you sue them, and you don't even have to file the suit. You just send a letter of intent, a letter of intent to sue. And they get back to you and say, okay, we found that the standard is $2,600. We feel you fall below the standard. We're willing to sell now for $1,400. Your lawyer sends out another letter, say, hey, look, we're not selling it for below the standard here. You got to be kidding me. There's a lot of negligence here, and a lot of embarrassment, punitive damages. I mean, these people should pay. Okay, and they say, okay, we'll give you the $2,600. You settle out of court, you got $2,600 for a slip and fall and a bruise on your elbow, and that's on top of the medical bills. So that's how that works. So it's chump change. You know, we're talking $2,600. I'm just saying, this is my world. We're poor. I'm poor. I don't understand the high-end world. But it's the same thing. It's going to be the same factors. It's going to be the same type of thing. Like, these many funds in this area, over this area, over this area, are worth this amount. And the mortgages are pretty much what they go by. I mean, they have to, the whole mortgage. But then in the end, when those financial forensic specialists come in, they examine the mortgage. They don't care about the amount. They care about the amount they're currently worth, okay? If I have 20,000 mortgages bundled together in a fund, okay, and these mortgages average $230,000 a piece, but then I look at it and I see where they're at, and I see that the real estate markets are down, and the chances of default are high, foreclosure are high, I'm going to take insurance out. So I'm going to buy that fund. I'm going to be Barclays Bank, and I'm going to buy 20,000 funds, but I'm going to insure those against foreclosure and default. Yeah. That way, if they default, I get paid in full. But I don't get paid in full until they foreclose, they get the homeowner out, and they resell the property. Then my claim can be paid. That's why these banks are doing this. That's why they're forcing people out illegally and then trying to sell the home. Okay, look this up if you're into this foreclosure situation, you got the home, you just want to know more about the banks. Massachusetts State Supreme Court, Michigan State Supreme Court, Kansas State Supreme Court, Idaho State Supreme Court, Florida State Supreme Court, California State Supreme Court, all ruled that these mortgages, or these foreclosures, were illegal if they were what's called a non-judicial foreclosure, okay? A judicial foreclosure is where you go in front of a judge and a jury, basically. Or you have, the judge and they got to prove that they own the property, da-da-da-da-da. A non-judicial foreclosure is a lobbyist done deal a while back where they said, well, we can just advertise that they're late and they don't pay. We can go have an auction on the sheriff's stairs at the county, at the courthouse stairs, and auction these homes. And that's written into the bill that they would do that. And then once we sell that property, the person who bought the property can now claim that they're a landlord of the tenants currently in the property, and then evict them. Nothing about a foreclosure, just evict them, do their unlawful tenant. I own the property, I bought it for 20 grand. You mortgaged it for 100. I bought it for 20. I'm getting you out because you're an unlawful tenant. And see, this is what's wrong. And in that law, okay, the actual law, they wrote that they had to auction the property off. But what did they do? They didn't do that. We had a lawyer represent the bank that foreclosed, the bank that's buying, the property assessor, the lawyer was, and whoever else was potentially a buyer, notarized documents to show that the bill of sale was true and valid, whatever. One lawyer represented all three people, and they went into a back room of the courthouse, never on the step, and auctioned off, hey, we got 20,000. No, they didn't do that, and that's illegal. And that's what happened. So above and beyond, Michigan, Idaho, Kansas, Florida, California haven't done this yet, but Massachusetts has. Massachusetts has a full ruling. You can check it. Massachusetts State Supreme Court rules All foreclosure sales going back 5 years are void. Void. Illegal. Meaning that the original homeowner has the right to sue to get back in. And then the person that did own it has to try to find out and if they can even do it. If they even have the resources. Son of a dog. This is outrageous.